The first question says evaluate 4 over 7 minus 1 over 3. So since we're subtracting unlike fractions with unlike denominators, so we're going to multiply the first fraction by 3 and the second fraction by 7. That's going to give us 12 over 21 minus 7 over 21, and that's going to be 5 over 21. Always remember, when you're subtracting or adding unlike denominators, you have to make the denominators equal first for the fractions, and then you can easily subtract or add the numerators. Evaluate 2 minus 1 over 2 times 0.3. So let's convert the 1.2 into 12 over 10 by moving the decimal one place to the right, and same 0.3 becomes 3 over 10. So now we can do 12 times 3, which is 36 over 100. 36 over 100 is negative 0.36, and 2 minus 0.36 is 1.64. You will do 2.00 minus 0.36. That's going to be 1.64. Factorize 4p square minus 1. So this is basically difference of perfect squares. 4 is 2 square, p is being squared, and 1 is 1 squared. So difference of perfect square is a square minus b square is equal to a minus b times a plus b. Difference of perfect squares. This is the factorization rule that we'll be using for this. And what we will do is we will just rewrite the given equation as a minus b times a plus b. So that's going to be 2p minus 1 times 2p plus 1. Factorize 10xy minus 12 plus 15x minus 8y. So what we're going to do is we're going to write this equation as 10xy plus 15x minus 12 minus 8y. So after we've rewritten this, we're going to factor by grouping. This is going to be our first group, and this is going to be our second group. So when you factorize this, in the first group we have 5x common, so that's going to be 2y plus 3. And the second group we have negative 4 common, so that's going to be 3 plus 2y. So 3 plus 2y and 2y plus 3 is the same thing, and both 5x and minus 4 have that in common. So I'm going to write 2y plus 3 times 5x minus 4. That is your answer. Question 3, solve the equation 9 minus 5x equals to 2x minus 12. Let's convert, let's collect the like terms on each side. This and this are like terms, and obviously the constants are like terms. So I'm going to write this as 9 plus 12. When I bring the negative 12 to the left hand side, it becomes positive 12 equals to 2x plus 5x. Same reason over here, negative 5x on the right hand side will be positive 5x. So that's going to be 21 equals to 7x, and 21 over 7 is x, which is 3. Part B says simplify 16 plus 2y minus 3 times 3 minus y. We're going to expand the bracket, then collect the like terms. So 16 plus 2y minus 9 plus 3y. 16 minus 9 plus 2y plus 3y is basically 7 plus 5y. Write the number 3456.789 correct to the nearest 100. If you look at these three numbers, 456. Now 456 is closer to 500 compared to 400, which means round to the nearest 100 would be 3500. Then says evaluate 160,000 square root. So we know 16 is 4 square and 10,000 is 100 square. So square root of 4 square and 100 square is going to be 400. Then it says evaluate 1 minus 3 to the power of negative 1. Rewrite 3 to the power of negative 1 as 1 over 3. That's going to be 3 minus 1 over 3, and that is 2 over 3. Next question says y is directly proportional to the cube of x. When x is 2, y is 4. Find y when x is 3. So if it's directly proportional to x cube, that's going to be y equals to kx cube. When y is 4, x is 2, we'll find the value of the proportionality constant, which is k. So that's 4 equals to 8k. 4 over 8 equals to k, which is 1 over 2. So y is 1 over 2 times x cube. Then you put x equals to 3. Find the value of y. So 1 over 2 times 3 cube, which is 27 over 2. And we read it as 13 whole number 1 over 2 as well. Question 6 says Maria's age is 17 years 5 months. Her brother is 20 months younger. Find the age of her brother. So she is 17 years plus, I'm going to convert the 5 months into years as well. So that's going to be 17 plus 5 over 12. Why? Because 1 year has 12 months. So 1 month will equal to 1 over 12 year. So 17 plus 5 over 12. And her brother is 20 months younger, which means 17 plus 5 over 12 minus 20 over 12. Once again, I'm converting the 20 into years as well. So now we have 17 minus 15 over 12, which is basically 17 minus 5 over 4. So that's going to be 68 minus 5 over 4, which is 63 over 4. If you write 63 over 4 as a mixed number, that's going to be 5 whole number 3 over 4. And 3 over 4 times 12 is 9. So the age of the brother is 5 years and 9 months. Write 48 minutes over 2 hours 18 minutes as a fraction in simplest form. So let's convert the 2 hours into minutes as well. So that's going to be 2 times 60, which is going to be 120. That's going to be 48 over 120 plus 18, which is 48 over 138. So 48 divided by 138 is basically 8 over 23. Because 48 is 6 times 8, and this is 6 times 23. The numbers of emails received by 18 students in a class one Monday are given below. Complete the group frequency table for these emails. So we're going to draw a tally frequency, and we know that from 0 to 5 we have 1, 2, and 3. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Then for 6 to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whenever like you have 5, like when you reach 4 values and then there's a fifth one, then the fifth one crosses the 4 values. And then the sixth one is going to be another 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cross 5. So that's going to be 8. And then the remaining ones are going to be your 11 to 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A student is chosen at random from a different class. The probability that this student received 5 emails is 9 over 20. Write down the probability that this student did not receive the 5 emails. So that's going to be 1 minus 9 over 20. Because if 5 are receiving the email, the probability of the student not receiving the email is the rest of the possibilities. So that's going to be 1 minus 9 over 20, which is 20 minus 9 over 20, and that is 11 over 20. By writing each number correct to one significant figure, estimate the value of this. So 6013 is going to be 6000. 0.0405 will be 0.04. And 8.986 is going to be 9. So you square root that. So 6000 times 0.04 would be, we move the decimal 2 places and cancel out 2 zeros. So that's 60 times 4 over 3. 20 times 4, because 3 ones are 3 and 3 20s are 60. So 80 is your answer. Question 9 says express 0.043 times 100 square in standard form. So we're going to do 0.043 times 100 squares. That's going to be 4 zeros. If you move the decimal 2 places over here, so let's rewrite this as 0.043 times 10 to the power of 4. Now you move the decimal 2 places to the right. That's going to be 4.3 times 10 to the power of 2. Since we're going 2 places to the right, so that means we are subtracting 2 from the power. So 4.3 times 10 to the power of 2. Then part B says evaluate 1.2 times 10 to the power of 7 over 2 times 10 to the power of negative 3. Give your answer in standard form. So we know 1.2 divided by 2 will be separate over here. And 10 to the power of 7 divided by 10 to the power of negative 3 is going to be separate. So that we're solving the exponent separately and like the constant separately. So 1.2 divided by 2 is 0.6. And 10 to the power of 7 minus negative 3, because whenever we're dividing similar bases, we subtract the powers. Hence 7 minus negative 3, which basically becomes 10 to the power of 10. And in standard form, that's going to be 6.0 times 10 to the power of 9. Because once again, we're moving one place to the right-hand side. So you subtract 1 from the power. A football team recorded the number of goals scored in each of their 20 games. The table shows the results. Write down the mode. So mode is your highest frequency. So as you can see in our table, the highest frequency is 6. So the mode is going to be 0. Then it says find the median. So for the median, we find the middle value. Right now, we know that there are 20 games in total. So half of 20 is 10. So we know 6 plus 5 is 11. Hence, your 10th game will occur in this quadrant. So that means the median is going to be 1. In the football team, the two tallest players have a mean mass of 75 kg. The 8 shortest players have a mean mass of 60 kg. Calculate the mean mass of these 10 players. So let's say that the two tallest players, A plus B divided by 2 equal to 75. That is your mean for the two tallest players. Tallest. Then for the shortest, you're going to do E plus D plus F plus G plus H plus I. 8 players. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players have a mean of 60. So these are the shortest players. So now we know A plus B will equal to 75 times 2, which is basically going to be 150. So that is your sum of A and B. And to find some of the shortest players, we do E plus D plus F plus G plus H plus I plus J plus K equals to 60 times 8, which is basically going to equal to 480. So now to find the mean mass of all the players, I'm going to add A plus B plus E, D, G, F, H, I, J, and K, all 10 players, and put that equal to 150 plus 480 and divide this thing by 10 because we're talking about 10 players. So 150 plus 480 is going to equal 630 over 10, and that is 63. So 63 kgs is your mean mass of all the 10 players together. Question 11 says in the diagram, ABC and DEF are parallel lines. ABE equals to 123. CEF is 40 degrees. Calculate DEB. We have to calculate DEB, which is this one. So we know that in alternate angles, co-interior angles add up to 180. So this angle and this angle, these two are co-interior angles, which means 180 equals to angle DEB plus 123, which means 180 minus 123 is DEB, and that is going to equal to 57 degrees. So that is your answer. Then it says calculate BEC. So BEC is going to be this angle. We already know this is 57. So to calculate this angle, we know angles on a straight line equal to 180, which means 180 equals to sum of 57, 40, and angle BEC. That's 180 minus 57 minus 40. And that is going to give us 83 degrees. So that is your answer. Question 12 says, write the letter of each drawing that is the net of a cube. So to be the net of a cube, we need to make sure that the surfaces add up like to the same shape. So A would be a cube. Because if you imagine it putting it together, these two would be the side faces. This is the side and this is the top. Then B cannot be a cube because it can't like you can either fold it together or like, you know, make it like something like this. So yeah, B isn't. For C, this would be the base and this is side This is side. This would also be the side and side. This would be the top. So yes, C is a cube. Then D does not make a cube because once again, there are no sides, like there are not enough faces. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. For E, we have 6 faces. And if we try to put it together, if we say this is the base, this is going to be a side, side, side. No, this is going to be the top. This will be a side. Yeah. So E is a cube and F can't make a cube as well. So A, C, E are cubes. Question 13 says in the diagram OC and OA each make an angle of 70 degrees with the north line. AOB is X and BOC is Y. X is to Y is 3 is to 7. Find the value of X. So we know X is to Y is 3 is to 7. So if you find 1 is to 7, so that's going to be 1 ratio 7 over 3. I'm going to assume that this angle over here is theta and this is 7/3 of theta. Okay. So I'm going to do 70 plus 70 plus theta plus 7/3 of theta equals to 360 because sum of angles at a point, like around a point, is 360. So that's 140 plus 10 theta over 3 because I add theta to 7 theta over 3. That's 10 theta over 3 equals to 360. So 10 theta over 3 equals to 360 minus 140, which is basically 10 theta over 3 equals to 220. And that's going to be theta equals to 220 times 3 over 10, which is be 66, which shows that X is 66 and Y is going to be 7/3 of 66, which is basically 154. So that's your answer. And it says find the bearing of C from O. So the bearing of C from O. Which is all of this. So we do bearing of C from O. That's going to be 360 minus 70, which is 290. Then it says bearing of O from A. Bearing of O from A, yeah. To find the bearing of O from A, we draw the compass at A now. That's all of this. So we know in parallel lines, alternate angles are equal. So which means if this is 70, this is also going to be 70. These are alternate angles and your parallel lines are, let me just highlight that. These two are your parallel lines, which makes these two your alternate angles. So we're going to do bearing of O from A is going to be 180 plus 70, and that is going to be 250 degrees. Question 14 says in the Venn diagram, shade the subset P union Q intersection R complement. So P union Q is everything that's in P and Q. But intersection R complement means we cannot include R, which means it will only include this part, not R. In a group of 42 people, 30 people speak Spanish, 20 people speak French. Find the smallest possible number of people who speak both Spanish and French. Find the smallest number of people who speak both Spanish and French. Let's just draw the Venn diagram first. Since it says both Spanish and French, that means we have an intersection happening, which is X that we have to find. This is Spanish, this is French. 30 minus X. So 30 minus X represents people who only speak Spanish. And 20 minus X represents the people who only speak French. Total people we have over here is 42. So that's going to be 42 equals to 30 minus X plus 20 minus X. So that's going to be 42 equals to 30 plus 20 minus X. 42 equals to 50 minus X. X is going to be 50 minus 42, and that is 8. So 8 is the smallest possible number of people who speak both Spanish and French. Then find the largest possible number of people who speak neither. In the previous part, we said both Spanish and French. Now we're trying to find the largest possible number of people who speak neither Spanish nor French. So let's draw the Venn diagram again. But this time it's going to be different because we're saying largest possible number of people who speak neither Spanish nor French. So that means the smaller set will be inside the bigger one. So Spanish was 30 and French was 20. Spanish, French. This is 20 and French, people who speak French is inside the Spanish set, which means over here we'll have 10. Because 10 plus 20 together gives us 30. 42 people in total, so we will put X over here because X is the number of people who speak neither Spanish nor French. And once again, we're trying to find the largest possible value. That's why I put the people who speak French in the set of people who speak Spanish. So we'll do 42 equals to 30 plus X. 42 minus 30 is X, and that is 12. The reason why I took 30 is because 30 is total number of people who speak Spanish. 20 is the number of people who speak Spanish and French. That's what we're assuming. So 10 is the number of people who are just speaking Spanish. So once again, the total number over here is 30. Then either you can say 10 plus 20 or you can take it as 30. And then your total number of people on the whole is 42. So 42 minus 30 is 12, which is the number of people who speak neither Spanish nor French. Question 15 says, using compasses and a straight edge only, construct the bisector of ABC, which means you have to draw the angle bisector. So for the angle bisector, what you will do is, we're going to open our compass to let's say 3 centimeter. And we're going to put our compass at B and draw an arc over here and here. Then we're going to use the same length for the compass, put it at this point and this point, and draw 2 more arcs. So once you've drawn those 2 arcs, we're going to connect point P to the intersection of these 2 arcs. And this will be your angle bisector. So basically, this angle will be equal to this angle. And together, this angle will be, like the total angle B would be double of this orange angle or this orange angle. That would show that this is your angle bisector. Then it says on the diagram, draw the locus of points inside triangle ABC that are 3 centimeters from AC. So if they're 3 centimeters from AC, we'll measure your distance from A and see where 3 centimeter is. Let's say it's over here. and then repeat the same step for point C, and let's say that is over here. You will connect those 2 points, and basically this is the area where your points are 3 centimeters away from the line AC and inside the triangle. Question 16 says in the diagram OABC is a parallelogram. The equation of the line CB is y equals to x plus 2. The region inside the parallelogram is defined by 4 inequalities, and one of these is y is less than x plus 2. Write down the other 3 inequalities. So now if you look at our diagram, one inequality is this one over here. So that's basically x greater than 0, because we're looking at the region greater than x equals to 0. Then next we have this inequality. Now this is passing through the origin, which means, and if the slope is positive, so that is y greater than equal to x. Because once again, we're looking at the region above the line. So values of y are increasing. Then our third inequality, which is this one, that is x is less than 4. Because it is at x equals to 4, and we look at the values, they are decreasing at x equals to 4. We're looking at the lesser values for x. So these are 3 inequalities, and the fourth one is already given. Calculate the area of the parallelogram OABC. So to calculate the area, I'm going to take this as the trapezium first. Trapezium OCB, I call this D. So that's going to be 1 over 2 times the height. Height is 4. And parallel sides are, we know that the y-intercept was 2 over here, so this is 2. That's going to be 2 plus, and this length over here, we don't know that is, but we can find that out by putting x equals to 4 in the equation. So 4 plus 2 and 6. So this point over here is 6. So that means the parallel lengths are 2 and 6. So that's going to be 2 times 8, which is 16. So 16 unit square is the area of the trapezium. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the area of this triangle over here. And then you will see that when we subtract the 2 values, you can find the area of the parallelogram. So triangle OAD. That's going to be 1 over 2. Base is your 4. And height is going to be height is going to be 4 as well. Why? Because basically if you look at the shape, because if you look at the equation of this line, that's y equals to x. So if x is 4, y would also be 4 over here. So this point over here is 4. So that's going to be 8. So area of OABC, which is the parallelogram, that's going to be the difference of 16 and 8, which is 8 units square. That is your answer. Then question 17 says in the diagram, AC is the diameter of the circle center O. The tangents from T touch the circle at B and C. BCT is 62. Find X and find Y. So we know that this, all three are the same because they're the radius. OA equals to OB equals to OC because they're the radius, which means this would also be X. Okay. So if that is 62, firstly, we know that a tangent makes a 90-degree angle with the radius. So X would be 90 minus 62, which is equal to 28. Now for Y, the tangent is the same and is touching the same point. If this is 28, this is also 28, which means this would also be 62 because once again, the tangent makes a 90-degree angle with the radius. So what we can say is that BCT is a triangle and we can do Y equals to 180 minus 62 minus 62 because we're looking at triangle BCT. So 180 minus 62 is 56. That is your value of Y. Question 18 says some numbers are arranged in rows. Each row contains one more number than the previous one. The numbers in each row are two more than the numbers in the previous row. So for row 5, what we're going to have is 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, and 11. Write down an expression in terms of n for each number in row n. So in row n, each number will basically be, if we compare the numbers, there's a difference of +2, which means we multiply 2 with n. Now if we use 2n for the first term would give us 2, not 3. And for the second term, 2n would give us 4, not 5. That means we need to add 1. So our expression for the nth term for each number in row n is going to be 2n plus 1. Always remember, whatever the common difference is, you always multiply the common difference to n. If the common difference is being added, it's going to be positive, like n. And if the common difference is being subtracted, your n would be negative. Then write down an expression in terms of n for the number of numbers in row n. So we have 2 numbers in the first row, then 3, then 4, then 5. So as you can see, in the first row, there are 2 numbers. In the second row, there are 3 numbers, which means to each number of row, we're adding 1. That's going to be n plus 1. Write down expression in terms of n for the sum of the numbers in row n. So that's going to be the product of 2n plus 1 and n plus 1. You can leave it as it is, and you can like even expand it and write it as 2n square plus n plus 1, which is going to be 2n square plus 2n plus 1. Both are correct. Question 19 says the time t minutes taken by some people to travel to work are shown in the table. On the grid, draw a histogram to represent this data. For the histogram, what we need is the frequency density for each time interval. So frequency density is basically frequency over class width. FD represents frequency density and CW represents class width. So for the first one, your frequency is 16 and class width is 10. Class width is basically the difference of your intervals. So 20 minus 10 is 10, and that's going to be 1.6. Then for the other one, it's going to be 15 over 5, which is 3. Then it's going to be 10 over 15. Then it's going to be 10 over 5, which is 2. And lastly, 12 over 20, which is going to equal 0.6. So now if we plot these over here, for 0 to 10, it's 1.6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To 20, it's this. 20 to 30, 20 to 25 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 20 to 25 is going to come like this. And then from 25 to 30, that's 2. Then after that, 0.6. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is this. Question 20 says triangle A and triangle B are drawn on the grid. Complete the description of the transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. So it's an enlargement, as you can see, and let's find the scale factor first. So the scale factor is going to be, we know A is 2 and B is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So that means the scale factor is 3 because you're multiplying 2 by 3 to get 6. And now to find the center of enlargement, let's join the same vertices on the shape. So if I'm not wrong, this is your center of enlargement, 4, 2. So 4, 2 is your center of enlargement. It says triangle A is mapped onto triangle C by reflection the line of y equals to negative x. Draw on the grid and label triangle C. So reflection the line of y equals to negative x. So that line is going to be, yeah, this is our this is your y equals to negative x line. And the reflection in this is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2. 1 half, half, 1. And then this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So now if I connect these, this is our triangle C. This is a reflection in y equals to negative x line. Line L is perpendicular to the line y equals to negative 1 over 2x plus 3. Line L passes the point 8, 9. Find the equation of L. So since there's one line and then there's another line, line L is perpendicular to this line. So I'm going to call this line y equals to negative 1 over 2x plus 3. Since the two lines are perpendicular, that means the gradient of the first line times the gradient of the second line is going to equal to negative 1. Gradient of the first line is negative 1 over 2 times m2, which is gradient of the second line. That means m2 is going to equal to 2. That is your condition for gradients of perpendicular lines. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use this gradient and the point given through which line L passes to find the equation. Y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1. This is the equation that we use when we have a point and like the gradient given. So y minus 9 equals to 2 times x minus 8, which is going to be y minus 9 equals to 2x minus 16. Y equals to 2x minus 16 plus 9, which is going to be minus 7. So y equals to 2x minus 7 is your answer. Question 22 says find AB. So they've given us two matrices, matrix A and matrix B. We're going to do 1, negative 4, 2, 3 times 0, 2, 2, negative 3. Always remember when we are multiplying matrices, your first row of the first matrix gets multiplied with the first column of the second matrix, then the second column, and then we repeat the same steps with the second row of the first matrix. So that's going to be 1 times 0 plus 2 times 2, then 1 times 2 plus 2 times negative 3, negative 4 times 0 plus 3 times 2, negative 4 times 2 plus 3 times negative 3. That's going to equal 0 plus 4, 2 minus 6, 0 plus 6, and negative 8 minus 9, which is 4, 6, negative 4, and negative 17. C and C inverse are 2 by 2 matrices. Write down the 2 by 2 matrix, which is equivalent to C times C inverse times B. So whenever you multiply the original matrix by its inverse, that's basically equal to the identity matrix, 1, 0, 0, 1. And identity matrix times any matrix is going to be the matrix itself, which is matrix B. So your answer would be 0, 2, 2, negative 3, which is matrix B. The diagram is a speed time graph representing part of a train's journey. The train moves at a constant speed of 20 meters per second for 40 seconds. It then slows down uniformly for a further 60 seconds until it stops. Find the deceleration between T40 and T100. So basically focusing on this. So deceleration is basically your slope of the speed time graph. So we're going to do 0 minus 20 over 100 minus 40. That's negative 20 over 60. And that's going to be negative 0.3 recurring. So the negative sign shows that it's deceleration. Part B says find the value of t when the speed is 10 meters per second. So when the speed is 10 meters per second, that's going to be half of this. So we need to find this value. So once again, it's following on the same slope. So the deceleration value would be same. So if we take negative 1 over 3 equals to 0 minus 10 over 100 minus t. So that's going to be negative 1 over 3 equals to negative 10 over 100 minus t. Cross multiply. So negative 100 plus t equals to negative 30. And t is equal to negative 30 plus 100, which is going to be 70 seconds. Find the average speed during the 100 seconds. So we need the distance for that. Already have the time, that's 100. So distance is basically going to be your area under the speed time graph. So it's a trapezium. So area would be 1 over 2 times the height, which is 20, times sum of parallel sides. One parallel side is 40 and the other is 100. So 40 plus 100. This is 40. This is 100. This is 20. That's going to be 10 times 140. That is 1400. That is your distance, which is area under the speed time graph. And average speed is going to be 1400 divided by 100, which is 14 meter per second. That is your average speed of this journey. Question 24 says, express 99 as the product of its prime factors. So 99 is 9 times 11. 9 is 3 times 3. 11 is a prime number on its own. So it's going to be 3 square times 11. Expressed as the product of prime factors, p equals to 2 to the power of n plus 2 times 3 to the power of n times 5. And q is 2 to the power of n times 3 to the power of n plus 1 times 5 square, where n is a positive integer. The lowest common multiple of p and q is 2 to the power of n times 3 to the power of n times r. So express r as the product of prime factors. So r is basically going to equal to, so basically they're asking us about the lowest common multiple. P was 2 to the power of n plus 2 times 3 to the power of n times 5. And q is 2 to the power of n times 3 to the power of n plus 1 times 5 square. So they said that 2 to the power of n and 3 to the power of n times r is the lowest common multiple, and we have to find what r is. R is basically going to be 2 square times 3 times 5 square. This multiplied by this would give you the lowest common multiple. How did we get that? Basically, if you write it like this, I'm going to split this into different terms. 2 square, 2n, 5 square, then we have 3n, and we have 3. Okay. So that's going to be 2 square comes as it is. Three will come as it is. Two to the power of n will come as it is. Same with 3 to the power of n and same with 5. So as we can see, these two were already given, and 2 square times 3 times 5 is what was missing. So that's the value of r. Express p plus q as the product of its prime factors. So we're going to add these up now. It's going to be 2 to the power of n plus 2 times 3 power of n times 5 plus 2 to the power of n times 3 to the power of n plus 1 times 5 square. So I'm going to take 2 to the power of n common, 3 to the power of n common, and 5 common. So that leaves me with 2 square plus 3 times 5. So that is going to be 4 plus 15. So answer is 2 to the power of n times 3 to the power of n times 5 times 19. That is the answer as a product of prime factors. Basically, just see what's common, factorize the entire thing. 2 to the power of n was present in both things, 3 to the power of n and 5. So whatever is left behind comes in the bracket. So 2 square plus 3 times 5, and that's 19. Question 25 says in the diagram, ABP and ACQ are straight lines. Angle ACB and APQ are equal. Show that the triangle ABC is similar to triangle AQP. And give a reason for each of your statement. So this is equal to this. ABP is similar to ACQ. That's triangle ABC similar to triangle AQP. That's what we have to show. So we have to show that AB is the same as AQ. So I'm just going to highlight the entire thing. Yeah. And we can say PQ is the same as CB. And what's it called? We have a common angle as well. This is the common angle that we share. So let's start with that. This is our common angle. Angle BAC is the same as angle QAP. Okay, common angle. Then we already know the given that angle BCA is the same as angle QPA. That was the given. This is our common angle. So as we know, the sum of angles in a triangle is equal to 180. So automatically, if the first two angles are same for the triangle, the third angle would also be the same, which means angle ABC is the same as angle PQA. So that shows that the triangles are similar because all of the angles are exactly the same. Then AB is 4, AC is 3, and AQ is 12. So let's go back to our lengths that we highlighted. They're saying that, just gonna remove this. AB, they're saying is 4, which is given. AQ is 12, AC is 3. We have to find AP. This is what we have to find. So I'm going to say that the ratio of AQ over AB is going to equal the ratio of AP over AC. So AQ is 12, AB is 4, AP is what we have to find, and AC is 3. So 12 times 3 is 36, 36 divided by 4 is 9. So 9 units is AP. If there's still any confusion, I'm just gonna use the same arrows weight. So basically what I was proposing was that AQ is similar to AB, PQ is similar to BC, and if you look at AC, AC is similar to AP. AC is similar to AP. Yeah. So this color coordination should make it easier to understand. Then the area of triangle ABC is x centimeter square. Find an expression in terms of x for the area of the quadrilateral BPQC. So for this, we're going to once again use the similarity ratios. We know that AQ over AB squared, which is going to be 12 over 4 square, is going to equal to the area of the bigger triangle over area of ABC. Okay. So that's going to be 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 squared is 9. So 9 equals to, we know that area of triangle ABC is x. So x over here. And we don't know the other triangle, so I'm going to call this y. So 9x equals to y. So for the area of the quadrilateral BPQC, we will subtract x from 9x. It's going to be 8x. That is your answer. Because x was your area of the triangle ABC, which is already given. And from the similarity triangle ratio, we found the area of the triangle APQ, which is 9x. And your quadrilateral is basically this part over here. This is the area that they want us to find. So if this is x and the total is 9x, so 9x minus x is 8x. And that's your answer.